Alright, quick tutorial on georeferencing in ArcMap. Let me grab that file. Oh, it's a PDF. Alright, so first lesson is we need to not use PDFs, we need to use PNGs or JPEGs. So we're going to see if we can save as.
Does anybody have the flash drive?
Nope. So we need to maybe export. Oh, well, I exported as a Word document, which will create an image within the Word document, surprisingly. What things were you hoping to get off of this specific image?
So there's all those
These?
yeah.
Okay, so we can potentially, oh wow, neat.
Specifically the ones down near the beach, so yeah. Yep.
No, we can, oh, you mean?
No, the ones.
These?
You were almost there. Yeah, so that's the Marine Science Center right there. The ones that are to the, like, down from the Marine Science Center.
Alright, so we could just take a screenshot of this. That's going to be the easiest thing, because we don't need the whole file. And if it's a small enough area, then we can just, because what we want is resolution. And if you take a screenshot when it's zoomed in on your screen, you'll get a higher resolution.
So the furthest
Would this be enough area, or should I do bigger? Like this. Are you going to need these actual markers to be able to read those?
No, because you just look back.
Alright. So, I'm going to take a screenshot, and I'm going to get enough area so I have things in it that I can use as control points. And I'll show you what that means in a second. So I'm going to save that as this window screenshot. So then I go back to my map, and I can add in the imagery. And then zoom in on our area, which I think is there. Alright, so the first step is to start looking at the place where you want to first splash the image. Is this the building? So I'm going to pop it right in here. So I'm going to first add the image to as a layer in the map, which is kind of counterintuitive because you could also insert picture, but that's not the way to do it. So that's counterintuitive because if you insert the picture, it'll just, don't worry about it. It's just not the way to do it. So I'm going to go to desktop, and I'm going to grab this guy, which we just took the screenshot of, and I'm going to drag it over into my layers, and you'll notice it says it doesn't have a spatial reference. That makes sense. It's just an image. And we're going to give it a spatial reference, basically. When I bring it in, nothing happens, which is always confusing. So the first step is to turn on your georeferencing toolbar. And if you had multiple images, multiple things would show up here. But you're going to go to georeferencing, and you're going to go fit to display. So there's a bunch of things to do before you can even get this thing to show up. Obviously, you can't see through this image, so you got to make it transparent. So you're going to go to the properties, and then display, and then transparency, and make it like 50% at least transparent. Now you're getting there. You can kind of see what you're working with, and you can see you have a rotate, or shift, or scale. So these are going to be your first tools for getting it pretty close. So first of all, we're going to rotate it because that's the shoreline up there. And then we're going to shift it, I'd say, to get the shoreline to line up a little bit better. And then, so now you can see the outline of the building, and then you can see the building. And this is the situation you want to be in. Because what you're going to do is, now you're going to add control points. You don't really need to scale it if you can start adding control points. And you'll see what will happen in a second. See this little button here, add control points. We're going to click on the image and then where on the map that image should be, basically. And it's going to resize it once we add 2. And you'll see. It'll kind of make sense why. Alright, so I'm going to link up this corner of the building with that corner of the building on the map. Then I'm going to link up this other corner on the other side of the building with the other corner of the building. And the reason is, if you connect control points at the corners of your image, it'll get a really good calibration. But if you connect control points right next to each other, it won't get a good calibration. Like, it's all about kind of scaling the map and warping it in a bunch of interesting ways. So we don't have to worry about that. We just have to do this. We click on the bottom corner of the building, and I clicked once, and now you can see I have this little handle. And I want to click on the very corner, but I want to be really precise. So while I have this like this, I can do a zoom in. And then I can pick it again, and you can see I'm still on the other end of that. Oh, at least I think I am. So I'm going to click on the very corner of the building there. So you can see it already. It pulled over the corner of the building, and it put it right where I clicked. And then you can imagine the next step. I'm going to click in this corner precisely, and then right on the corner, and it matches up perfectly because the image is exactly like the map that you sent, which is why one of the reasons I was really happy about it was because it's like a scaled correctly, it's a map, right, that they've already made correct. So if I can just tell it where those 2 corners are, I can just kind of just warp the whole thing in there. So there you go, right? So then the last step is to update georeferencing. And what that'll do, I should have shown you beforehand. So before I did that, there wasn't this aux XML file or this PGWX file. Those get generated to go along with the image to now tell the image, hey, this is where you live on the map. So it's like before it was just a screenshot, now it's a georeferenced set of files, basically. So of course, the other way to do it is you can hit rectify, and that'll like store the location within the image, but it doesn't matter. I would just do update georeferencing. And you can see now it goes away because now it's there forever. So I can turn that layer on and off, and I could, add a bunch of points to digitize this, and then convert that to a shapefile, and you could do that, convert it to a shapefile, and then start typing in the IDs, and then you have a shapefile. So
like the water tank that's right there.
Oh, we could add a 3rd control point if we're not very happy.
That could be the bottom of the tank and then the top.
I would say, so you want to go as far away as you can. So I would say we should add another one for this building over here. But first of all, because it's hard to define a corner of the water tank. But one of the things that's funny about this is if you start to add 5 or 6 control points, it'll just warp like crazy, and it will be completely wrong. So you got to be real careful about what you add. You can't add too many. They have to be strategic, because it'll sometimes if you have an image that's got a different projection, it can start to get confused, and it can start to really throw off the left side of the map when you do a control point on the right side. And so just be careful when you're doing this. Yeah, because it looks like it's not all lining up perfectly. And if I was going to do this again, I probably would go to these corners first instead of doing the building we were looking at. Yeah, it's about right. Oh no, there's the corner. All right, so maybe I'll do one more. But at some point, you just got to live with it. I'm not even sure I did that right. And then, all right, so say I messed up, you can go to the list of control points and you can delete one. Surprised there's only 2 of them in there. I thought there would be more than that. It's weird. Alright, ignore what I just did. Okay, so